What Jesus would have said to us if he had been speaking this section of the gospel as recorded by Matthew, would he have said to us, you are the salt of the earth? I mean, if you call somebody salty, that's not really a compliment anymore, is it? It means they're a little bit risque, at least in their speech, if not their behavior. I don't think he would have said that. He probably would have said to you, you are red hot pepper. Because that's the seasoning, at least in this part of the world, which we use a lot of to spice up our meals. And he's obviously making a comparison here. You have to be noticed. Just like good red hot pepper makes a meal, even a mediocre meal, a little bit more noticeable, flavorful. You are red hot pepper. In other words, don't go around like this. I'm so humble, I'm nobody, because just as Jesus came to show us what the Father was like, we call that a sacrament. He was the sacrament of the Father. We can't see God, but we can see Jesus, and we can know what God is like because we know what Jesus was like. Well, he's not around anymore, and he hasn't been around for a long, long time. And when he comes again, it'll be in glory, and you'll notice him then. We'll all notice him. But in the meantime, who is going to reveal the Father to the world? Us. That's what he's saying here. You're the hot pepper of the world. You're the people who will make other people sit up and take notice and know what my Father is like. When we're baptized, that's the job description. You're not baptized just for your salvation, for you to go to heaven. Each one of us is baptized to become part of a visible group of people called the Christian church. Back in the 3rd century, a famous man said, look at those Christians. Look at them. They stood out in society. Why did they stand out in society? How did he tell? They didn't wear medals around their necks or have some brand on their forehead. They stood out because he said, look how they love each other. Look how they take care of each other. He said, look how they even die for each other. That's the job description of a Christian. And we get that job description with baptism, whether you like it or not. That's our job description. That's what we're here for primarily as Christians. The fallout of that, lots of side effects to that, our own peace of mind, our own entrance into glory with Jesus. But the main thing about being a Christian is to be salt, light, hot pepper in your world, so that other people will sit up and take notice and say, so that's what God is like. How did Jesus manifest the Father? By being like him. Always being merciful, healing people, forgiving people, overlooking personal hurts, overlooking even his own crucifixion. Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. That's our job description. And we get it by baptism. But some of you are about to become, not to receive, but become another sacrament called matrimony. You don't receive matrimony, you become matrimony. And you become a further sign to the world. You profess publicly to all of us, this is what love is really like. The way I take care of this woman or the way I take care of this guy. We will see in you another facet of the love that God has for us. Or we won't. 50% of all the marriages that take place in this country end in divorce. Boy, that's a terrible. If I was a betting person, I wouldn't bet on you. I wouldn't bet on you. Doesn't that frighten you a little bit? but it can be done. You can be a lover who forgets self and extends self to the spouse that you've vowed yourself to. And when we see that, we will know a little bit more about how God the Father loves us. That's your job description. You're taking on another job description over and above your baptism. This sounds really heavy stuff, right? This isn't about receptions and what will we serve and, what's the bridesmaid going to dress like. This is the issue. Love, which means forgetfulness of self, giving up of self-interest for the sake of the other. Now, I'm not trying to frighten you out of marriage. I said, if any of you guys change your mind, you can come over and become a monk. That's fine. But no, you really will have the power to do this, just like our baptism empowered us to be lovers. Matrimony, which you're becoming, God will empower you to be what you profess to be. Despite the ups and downs of life, the pull of selfishness, the self-interest, the problems of life, you'll do it. You'll do it because you were empowered to do it. Just like Jesus was empowered by his Father to be the visible face of God in the world. So as we go on our Christian life together, you got to stand out or you're not fulfilling your job description. People should notice. They don't necessarily have to talk about you, but they should notice. Boy, does he just pour himself out for her. Boy, does she take good care of him. That's what it's about. That's what being a Christian's about. That's what being a married Christian's about. The rest of us, the clergy, the religious, we do it in a different way, but we're all called to the same thing, to love as we have been loved. So spice up the world. Be red hot pepper. Be the salt of the earth. Let the rest of us know what love is all about.